Good morning, everyone. How is it going? Glad to finally get some break of the fighting for the last week, which I'm going to show you all about. So today's video is going to be progress updates on our Season 2 campaign. Just a reminder, we're Gondor. We have been fighting Rohan, as I said in the last video that I expected to happen. So I'll be showing you all the footage on that and how that's happened and stuff. But first of all, let's talk about where I am and what's happened kind of thing. Last time I showed you on the leaderboards, I was doing really well. I was up there in top 50 kind of thing. I'm currently sitting at 200th. At the worst, that was 260, I think it was, 259, 260. That's because Rohan absolutely annihilated us. They got in front in the leaderboards, as I showed last time. They were really, really strong. And that came to fruition further in the fight we had against them. So yeah, I'm at 200 at the moment. I'm quite happy with this. My resources income now is good. I sat at 140 tiles out of 196 for too long. 140 tiles out of 196 was painful. My resources were bad. I actually operated. I had 30 power 30s, I think it was. I've still got 20 of them now. I had 15s. I had anything I could. I took tiles to keep my resource income up. With the other sort of lower commanders, like scouting around the sort of lands to try and get like 40s and 30 tiles. It did keep me going. It did definitely help. I ended up with an extra few thousand food income than I would have if I didn't have that. So that's definitely something I would say to do, is to take those low level tiles if you're struggling with the higher ones until you go to new lands to get them. Where are my commanders? Feel like they haven't leveled enough. I was 40, I think it was 40 on my Gandalf last time we did this video. We're now up to 46. We sat at 44 for a long time, and 42 and 43 because it was non-stop PvP. PvP does not give enough XP. It doesn't give enough XP. I would push it up by another sort of 20-30%. It would allow people to fight more and use that as a leveling strategy. Because at the moment, PvP just hurts. It just hurts me, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't level off PvP. You have to do your own PvE stuff, grinding 200 tiles, mock battling to get them up. But overall happy. My Gandalf's doing really well during the fight, which I can show some bits of that. And Legolas again, quite happy with his progress. Also Eowyn at 39. I do not have a 300 tile yet. That is my goal for today. So if I do this next video, I've got a 300 tile still. You know what? I might as well stop. So I'm going to get 300 tile today. Finally got some barracks. I was running on 80 commands pretty much non-stop during all PvP. So only fighting with Gandalf to reduce losses. We now have a good amount in here. What do we have? We have 500 command now. Lots of cataphracts, bow knights, cavaliers, ram riders, and also now some swan knights. So quite a happy guy. But yes, I'm definitely behind where I wanted to be, but it isn't as bad as it could have been if we carried on fighting. Council update as well, our strategy and leadership, that has now gone down from 33 players to 20 apparently. Apparently there's 20 players now deciding the what we do in the faction of Gondor. I have to say though, the messages still aren't clear. I struggle now to even know. We took us a whole sort of like probably 24 hours to understand if we could fight Isengard or not. We're moving up here into new lands, but we just didn't understand if we could fight them or not. Some leaders were saying we could take tiles. Some were saying leave them alone and walk past them. I don't know why we're not taking the keeps. Are we going to take the keeps? We're making look like we are going to. But why are we not killing the Isengard forts then? So, not quite sure. The leadership sort of message out to us isn't quite clear on the Isengard situation. And the other thing is where are we going? Excuse me. Where are we going? Are we going London? Are we going to Arnor? Are we going up to Angmar? I'm not quite sure where we're going. We've not been told that sort of like detail at the moment. I've not been told that detail. But if we go and make enemies on Linden, Arnor, and Isengard, I don't think that's a good idea. We could technically go and destroy Isengard and make friends with Lyndon and Arnor. That would be what I would suggest. That would make the most sense to me, to be honest. But whether we do that or not, it's a different thing. So I'm not quite sure where we're going with that kind of stuff anyway. It's I'm a bit lost still. Don't know where we're heading. Don't know what keeps we're taking. All I know is we need to do Andras still. We need to do Oskalaf. I think I'm saying that right. But yeah, we're going to take them, I believe, today, tomorrow. Why you all here then, and why do you want to watch this? What's the update and what's all the hype about? That is the fight versus Rohan. I showed on here before. You ready for this? I showed on here before. They were sitting behind this tunnel, waiting to go. Waiting to go and waiting to fight. And yeah, as you can see, they did fight. And yes, they won. So I'll tell you what, let me just skip over to another scene a second. And I'll show you some of those kick-ass replays. And I'll talk you through what's happened over the last sort of 7 days. And it has been mental. So, let me give you a little bit. We're not going to go on the phone anymore. I'll talk to you guys directly now. Let me give you a bit of a overview of what's going on here. This is the 9th. Okay, I'm talking on the 17th now. So, sort of 8 days after this. This is the first attack from Rohan. Alright? This was always going to come. They've been demanding Oathbreakers from day one. And by the way, if you're looking at this thinking, that's it, they pushed and that was it, it's over. No, it's not. There's a lot of back and forth, and I'll show you some of the clips on this and some stages of the progress. But we have, on this, they were going to attack. They were always going to attack. It was 100% sure they were going to attack. They wanted Oathbreakers, and they would not back down from having that. Like, they want it. They're saying, listen, it's a neutral land. It's between our lands. Let us have it, and you can have yours. We can both have them. They don't want all of them. But they were saying that they wanted share. There was a key moment here. This was on the 9th. On the 7th, Rohan attacked Mordor. Okay? On the 7th, so 2 days before this, Rohan attacked Mordor. I thought at this point we should have attacked. Okay, it would have been 2v1. We would have had the momentum. All of their armies were across another side of the map. Okay, they were a good probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes travel away. We would have had a really, really good jump on them. What happens instead though is our leaders decide not to do that. Even though we're allies with Mordor, we let our allies be slain. Murdered, killed, and I didn't like it personally. It wasn't my kind of like plan. It wouldn't have been my plan, should I say. However, the leaders decided not to attack at that point. They wanted to be the defenders, not the aggressors, and therefore, hopefully, people will like that and hopefully ally with us. So what did the result be? Rohan destroyed Mordor, and then 2 days later, they came along and did this. 40 commanders on the tunnel, and to be honest, it's a complete annihilation. At the same time, they came through Entwash as well. Nowhere near as strong, however, strong enough. So the two main commanders, this is us attacking the keep, and I'll go on to that now. This all happened as we were attacking the keep. At the same second, 1800 UTC, we attacked the keep, they attacked us. Now, there was a spy. Clearly there's a spy. And you know what? Spies are part of the game, I think. Like, if you're in war, there's going to be spies in war. So, as well as being annoyed about it, it's part of the game. There's going to be spies in war, and how you lead the faction and how you lead and decide what to do. This is why a small number of people would be amazing to just call the shots and go, hey, this fellowship does this fellowship does that fellowship does that. But committing everything to this keep attack made it so our defences were nothing. Literally nothing. And they just walked in pretty much, say, hey, free open door kind of thing, and walked in. So it was annoying, however, that they did it during this. And they definitely weren't happy. We did end up taking this keep, and we focused on it to make sure that resulted in success. But as you can see here, there was a complete annihilation on the front for Oathbreakers, and they were successful in pushing this. By sort of like the next morning, 12 a.m., they had made very good progress. So you can see down here, they pushed all the way down from this here, all the way down through the neutral land. Really made really good progress, making some stupid fort names to wind us up, but made really good progress and really good solid ground into our sort of lands, into the neutral lands that we'd claimed, should I say. Where's Godalo? I'm here. I'm here. Shout out. But the but hi YouTube, another one as well. Great. But yeah, so they made good progress. This wasn't the end of us though. We didn't have the main faction, and then literally the same day, about 12 hours later again, Coda decided to come, our faction, and it is all out war. This is now all out war. This is what this, just to remind people, this is like what, 7 days in the game, 8 days in the season, and it is honestly some of the biggest fighting I've ever seen. But they are literally there everywhere. Coda come down, you can see all the lines coming down, reinforcements coming, fight time. You can see 20 stacks, 20 stacks here, 3 stacks, 2 stack, 4 stack. There's a lot of armies here. There's a lot of armies. And it is back and forward. This sort of carries on over the next sort of 12 hours. We do push back though. And including on Entwash as well, we do push that all the way back. And we take the tunnel and time to fight over here as well, which guess what, we take as well. So what happens in 24 hours is they push all the way through, take loads of Oathbreakers from us. Our main fellowship come in and fight back, okay? So how the hell did we end up in a place where we've lost loads of land and we're in a really big mess? Well, what happens is there's a 2-day break. During those 2 days, Rohan used Fanghorn. Is it Fanghorn? The one with all the Ents? They used Ent farming for 2 days. So rather than coming back with level 43, 44 commanders, they then come back with 48s and 49. And shout out to Old Mate and Anduril, some kick-ass commanders they have, big pay to win players, but really strong commanders coming in and absolutely wiping the floor with most armies from our fellowships and our faction. But honestly, it is. They farmed, they came back, and they came back with a vengeance. We were completely ready in defence. We had plenty of armies, but we didn't stand a chance to defend against those kind of units. Their Theodens, Galadriel, whoever it is, all of them just came in, absolutely wiped the floor with us. Anduril had a kick-ass Legolas as well that annihilated healers, Gandalfs, got absolutely destroyed. So honestly, massive wins there. And you know what? A lot of Gondor players were not ready. They weren't active enough at the start of the season, clearly, because we were fighting with level 30 to 35s. People kept posting reports of really low fights, and it was literally painful to watch. It really was. Let's have a look at this one. This is our attack. So we actually started the the push on the final day before they pushed us. I got the final hit. I want to see that. Wait, just 1 second. Deal durability damage. Fellowship occupies a significant structure. I got last attack. We pushed into them at first. They were ready, but they weren't interested here. The defense wasn't here. They wanted one push, and it was over at the Army of the Dead, or whatever it is. All the Oathbreakers. They pushed here, and they pushed hard. This is their hardest push, and like I said, there was 48s, 49s, 50s. They really came here with force, and they were ready for it. We weren't ready. Our players were not ready for this kind of attack, and we did get absolutely annihilated. My stats, I've got to say, for players that are weak, if you're behind in the season and people are attacking, I would say do not get involved. There's no point in even getting involved. I prefer you to spend the next 24 hours mock battling a 200 tile to get an extra couple of levels, an extra 4 levels maybe, and then come back in. If you've not got a 200 tile and you're not farming it, then there's no point you fighting again in these fights. And the amount of battles I saw that had that stuff in was painful. Bit of a long video, bit of a... it was epic though, there's loads of fighting. This is the end result of them taking like all of the Entwash lands over... like they're just absolutely annihilated us, to be honest. They're sitting... let me go onto the map again. They're sitting from this tunnel all the way down here, and on past the dead, which will flick over, I believe, as well. Yeah. So on past the dead, goes back to the map again. On past the dead, they sat here, all in. They actually sat quite far into Langstrand, which is, again, absolute annihilation. We've now got a deal, though. We're in ceasefire. We are at peace, and we are now heading in towards Isengard, which we're just gonna get destroyed, to be honest. We're gonna go up there. We've got no strategy, I don't think. We're gonna make enemies with Linden, Arnor, and Isengard and get destroyed in there. But no, we're not. I'm sure they've got a plan, the council have. So that's what will be happening over the next week. Hopefully, next time you see me, I'll have a level 49, 50 Gandalf. Hopefully respect sort of 7. Kicking ass, and I'll show you some battles. I've already had some battles versus Witch Kings and Saurons. I'm going to learn how to beat them, how we can deal with them. I'm going to share some results on some of them, because I've not had some bad fights against a large pay-to-win Sauron and a large pay-to-win Witch King. I'm going to show you what's going on there, how I've fared against them, and hopefully you can take some of that strategy to your game. That's everything for now, though. I shall catch you next time. Thank you very much for listening. For anyone who's still here, do hit that like and subscribe if you're still here, and I shall see you next time.